I saw this post in a Facebook group that I'm in, and it really got me thinking. The best part about the post wasn't the tweets shown in the screenshot, but the user provided a caption that read, "The masculine urge to play Pokémon Emerald." I wanted to take a step back and really think about not only why is it that men desire to play and replay Pokémon Emerald, but also explain why it is always Emerald and not any of the other 17 great Pokémon games available. You see, if you look at this Venn diagram, damn it, not again. You know what? Let's just talk through this. Pokémon is the world's most successful media franchise of all time. I really want that to sink in, because that's a very critical component that we will need to keep in our minds as we progress forward. Okay, has that set in? Good. It's later now, so that information is relevant. For this franchise to have become the household name that it has, that means that it had to sell a lot of games. If you're watching this video, that means you've already played Pokémon Emerald at least once. Don't try to pretend that isn't true, Terrence. Pour one out for our homie Terrence. While you're pouring, hit that subscribe button so we can rehabilitate our fallen comrade. Okay, now that we're done lying to ourselves, since everyone watching this video has played this game, that means that through the law of superposition, everyone currently alive and with access to the internet may or may not have watched this video. Hit that like button if you're alive today. However, our analysis can't end here, my good fellows, because we can't leave out all of our brothers who were alive in 2004, which was... Man, that's a lot of people. That's like almost 1 million people. Like, if you wanted to round up due to a potential clerical error, you would get... Yeah, that sounds about right. Now, I know what you're thinking. Chip, you little rapscallion you! Haven't you forgotten why we're all on pins and needles? What is it about Emerald which makes the men quiver and quake and to grab their micros to set out on a quest? To that I say, we've already established that you've played this game. You should already know all this. Oh, what's that? Oh, you just like hearing people talk about a game from your childhood in a way that allows you to be washed in waves of nostalgia by having your senses bombarded with a highlight reel of all the greatness of a game you loved in childhood without having to experience all the headaches that could potentially come from playing a 30-hour RPG for children? Oh, gotcha, yeah, I can help with that. Pokémon Emerald may very well be the greatest Pokémon game of all time. I mean, I've talked about it on this channel before, but the jump from the Game Boy and Game Boy Color games to the Game Boy Advance games was just absolute insanity. We went from the simplistic graphics, hardly any motion on screen, and the need to leave a lot up to our imaginations, to the stunning color, far more life breathed into the sprites and environments, and the immense diversity of the region to explore. What can I say? Exploring Hoenn will make you wet. Also, have you seen the Pokemon introduced in this game? Have you acknowledged Trico supremacy? Dude, Mudkip might be the most recognized Gen 3 Pokemon, but you can keep him because you'll have to rip this Gecko Dragon out of my cold, dead hands. As you go through the first few towns of Hoenn, it still has that small town feeling that the first few towns in any Pokemon game will have. You got a couple buildings, a couple wooded areas, a raccoon. It's not until you get to Rustboro that you start getting a feeling that this game really is built different. You got all the colors popping on the screen, you got all this grass whooshing by when you're not battling in the void anymore, but rather whatever environment you were exploring in. Once you get to the paved city of Rustboro, you will soon be whisked away to beaches, port towns, big cities, volcanoes, forests, oceans, and even underwater. This game really does have it all. Speaking of locations, I know all you guys know of the route. You know, the route. The cardiovascular corner, the pathway of patience, the excellent egress. That's right, gentlemen, the optimal way to hatch your eggs. Everyone knows of this path, and the convenience of breeding for shinies, ideal natures, or just needing an egg move right outside the daycare was a dream come true. While you're out on that grind, why not practice your green thumb with planting berries, which can now be used to make Pokeblocks, which are used for the new activity in Gen 3 called contests. What's that? Contests, gardening, and procreating with the opposite sex don't satisfy the masculine urge? Yeah, I get that, man. You want post-game? Here's your dang post-game. This shit was so hard, I still don't know how to beat half of it. You could sink more hours of your time in Hoenn into just this area than the entire preceding adventure. What more could you want? It goes without saying, since, you know, like, 10 billion people have played this game, you included, but the entirety of your adventure is backdropped by just some of the greatest music of our lifetimes. There really hasn't been a soundtrack like it, and I think this is where the series set itself up for potentially being the video game franchise with the greatest music, full stop. You don't have to do this, since, you've played the game so many times you can turn any song on in your mind like a brain jukebox, but go do yourself a favor and go listen to chill hoeing beats that you can relax and stop terrorism to if you ever want to wonder how a guy can do that with a trumpet. That's what we call the masculine urge. Thanks for watching this video. Intrusive thoughts come to me when I see some memes, so it means a lot that you came along on this ride. Anyways, the voices have told me that you've already liked, commented, and subscribed, so I won't ask you again, for your safety more than my own. Looking forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Until then, keep it tuned in.